Sorry. Unapologetic.
I'm not trying to talk about him.
Unlike anyone else.
But knowing y'all
will probably make me.
This is the Stephen A. Smith Show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, week 3 of the Stephen A. Smith Show, courtesy of SiriusXM Mad Dog Sports Radio, channel 82. Number to call up, as always, is 888 Mad Dog 6. That's 888-623-3646. And if you're tempted to leave in a voicemail message because you get tired of waiting on them damn phone lines, go to SiriusXM.com/GetSerious to send in your rants. I might even call you back to SiriusXM.com/GetSerious. Usually, I don't let anything nor anyone interfere or interrupt my opening monologues because I like to come out the box swinging, okay? But there are special occasions that call for an exception, okay? And today that would be the case. They are in studio sitting right next to me. Obviously, one is a Super Bowl champion. The other is a former league MVP, a Heisman Trophy winner, former #1 overall draft pick. I'm talking about the one and only Ryan Clark and Cam Newton, my colleagues, my partners in crime.
What up, dog?
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Man, you so big time,
bro.
Is that what it is?
God,
The switch up is real. It should be Stephen Anthony, the Chameleon.
The Chameleon?
Bro,
Why would it be Chameleon?
Okay. Should I remind you? We watching a show that I was like, are you acting? Is this one of your scenes? Okay, boom. And then we go from first take, and then we come, just a subtle flex, my dad. Hey, yo, RC, Ken, y'all got time real quick? Want y'all to see my little studio. I said, all right, man, cool. I'm thinking it's just a high and by, and then all of a sudden you see a blam.
Well, I appreciate, man. Listen, y'all both two busy brothers because y'all doing your own thing. You got your own podcast doing big things. The Pivot himself, you pivoted over here. Proud of what both of y'all are doing, to be quite honest with you. I'm really, really proud of it. Let's get into some football because I know this brother got a flight to catch, and I know you always got a flight to catch. So let's get right to it. We saw the Buffalo Bills win last night, 31-21. We saw Miami make it a game to some degree until Tua threw that interception with about 3 minutes left. Some people would think that might buy the GM and Coach Mike McDaniels time for the Miami Dolphins. Others are thinking at 0-3 their season is over, and in all likelihood their career in Miami is over. What are your thoughts about that? Let's start with you, RC.
Yeah, I think the first thing is it may have bought them time, but they're just leading up to the inevitable, right? Like there's this saying that says you're just breathing until death. That's what they're doing right now. They understand that this team is regressing. This team has reached the heights that they were going to reach, but it's also when you watch the team play, there's no physicality. There's no strain. And even though last night they kept themselves in the game, like what's to be hopeful for? Is you going to get explosion on defense? Are you going to get people on offense? Are you going to get people on the defensive side of the ball to tackle? Are you going to get a coach in Mike McDaniels that seems hopeful when he steps up to the podium because of what he watched versus the Buffalo Bills? And so even if they get to continue as Mike McDaniels and Tua Tagovailoa, the head coach and starting quarterback of the Miami Dolphins, that's going to change by the end of this season.
What about you, Ken?
Okay, real quick. So we had this discussion on First Take about development, right? And I didn't get to this point, but I'll tell you this. There's more coaches that benefit off of talented players than players benefited off of good coaching. When you think about it that way, you have Mike McDaniels, who, in my opinion, is a really good coach with a great mind in offensive schematics, is going to be impacted because of Tua Tagovailoa, right? Tua Tagovailoa not performing, if you fool around and you go, 3-15, whatever that
3-14.
It may not be the best for Mike McDaniels, and now your career is hedged on a player that's not playing well, right? And it's frustrating because now what happens to the development of the game? Well, it really never was the case, right? But now you got players that were to say, hey, man, I coach Ryan Clark. Hey, man, I coach Cam Newton. Hey, man, I coach Stephen A. Smith. That's now going to propel them to get a head coaching job, to get an offensive coordinator job. And now it's the same thing. If your pick, if the person that you've hedged your hat on does not perform, then you're out, over with. Now, another thing that I want to say about Tua is this. when you're talking about elite players and what makes the elite, right? You always have this saying where it's like, it can't be you.
It can't be you.
Right?
It can't be you.
It better not be you.
It better not be you.
Lose.
That's right.
But when you see a game unfold last night, tit for tat, tit for tat, tat for tit, and we saw it in the Cowboys. But yesterday's game, 7 points. What does Miami follow up and do? 7 points.
Right.
Okay, Buffalo, 7 points. What does Miami do right before the half? 7 points. Okay, we got us a good game. That's how the NFL is set up. It's not set up to have blowout games. It's supposed to have every possession counts. Okay, now when you create some type of divide, now it gets to 21-14. Now it's two alphas looking nose to nose, and you're basically saying, who gonna blink first? All right, now Tua, you up. Boom, Tua goes out there from the bot snap, inaccuracy passes, and certain things. It's like, oh, you fumbling.
Right. What are y'all favorites? Based on listening to what Cam is saying right now, when you take those elements into consideration, I saw you nodding your head, RC, talking about, you obviously agree with him to some degree. I'm looking at the Baltimore Ravens as the clear favorites to be in the Super Bowl this year.
100%.
I don't think we can dismiss Philadelphia, but I think the NFC is far more intriguing in a lot of people's eyes. We've seen Kansas City falling off. We're seeing the Chargers ascend. We see the Texans haven't fallen off. We see Indianapolis ascend with Daniel Jones. But Buffalo and Baltimore are right there. Whereas in the NFC, it's Philly, it's Green Bay, it's Detroit, it's
LA.
Tampa Bay, it's LA. I mean, when you look at it right now, sticking with the NFC, what do y'all see?
The Packers. Like, I don't know why. Stephen A., why do you keep making me have this same conversation? and then also, too, you're like, RC is just 1 week. RC is just 2 weeks. Well, that's the football we have from 2025. You know what you said week one? Maybe Detroit ain't all that. Detroit lost their coordinator. Woo, woo, woo. Guess what? Detroit went out and put up 52.
Yeah.
We didn't see that week one.
Right.
We didn't see them protecting Jared Goff week one. We didn't see Amon-Ra St. Brown running free. Right? We didn't see them being able to come up with big stops and turnovers on defense because the Green Bay Packers are the team. We learned a lot about Philadelphia this week. Jalen Hurts has become the king of do whatever it takes to win. What happens when Byron Young and Jared Verse, what happens when they put pressure on the quarterback? Are we going to be able to make plays on the outside where we have an advantage with Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown? This is going to be the week where we see if the Philadelphia Eagles, understanding what it takes to win, can win them another Super Bowl. Because I believe the L.A. Rams are one of those top teams, one of those top 4 or 5 teams in the NFL, but you don't know until you see it head on. You don't know until you see it mano a mano.
Go ahead, Cam.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? When we talk about Ashton Genty, when you talk about Marvin Harrison Jr., you know who you've never heard? Jalen Hurts. Nobody on that team. You've seen a book. You've seen Saquon be so close to an unbreakable record. He didn't complain. What does that say about Nick Sirianni? What does that say about the culture and the structure of that team? That team is so locked in, and even though people will say, hey, this is the same dude that you say was not top 10, he's on such an elite team that you do not have to require him to be the best to be effective at winning. Not a lot of teams can say that. If Tua Tagovailoa does not play exceptional, they have zero chance. If you take Josh Allen, if he's not playing exceptional, they have zero chance. But Lamar, you can not this roster.
Yeah, this roster.
But with Jalen Hurts and the new and the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm so impressed because you never hear those reports of frustration. They just find ways to win, and they do it in a very subtle way where that's a flex. That's the most dangerous thing about a team where it's like you don't know. Bro, Jalen Hurts had 100 yards, bro, and they won.
But they also had to evolve into that, though,
Right.
Stephen A. Right? We saw Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown 2 years ago in primetime football be face-to-face because A.J. Brown wasn't getting the rock, right? We saw A.J. Brown last year say, when they're like, hey, what do you got to get better at? He say, passing, right? And even when he brings the book on the sideline, like he understood that was like an outward manifestation of his frustrations. But now you win a Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts. And in winning that Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts has shown you not once, but 2 times against Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs, in the biggest moments, he could be the best player on the field. So now, when based on winning the game, you aren't getting the ball, based on winning the game, our passing attack isn't what we want it to be, even A.J. Brown has conformed we got to do whatever it takes to win. We're
But
still winning
but
games.
winning masks that though. If they were not winning,
Yeah, for
RCG,
sure.
bro, and that's the thing. It's like, yo, if we winning, I'ma shut the hell up.
True.
But if we ain't winning and they ain't getting off, like, what if I don't have no collateral. Right. You know what I'm saying? The thing that keep Saquon Barkley at bay, say, Saquon, we're not playing half of our starters. You still want to go after this Eric Dickerson record, bro?
Yeah.
Or you want a Super Bowl? And at that time, I even said, what? You'll never have another opportunity.
Go get that ring.
But he got the ring, and it all made sense.
We're sitting here in New York right now in this studio, and we got two NFL teams, the New York Jets and the New York Giants. Who should New Yorkers feel more depressed about? How about that question?
What's that? That's a terrible question.
They're both winless.
Yeah.
They're both winless, and they're both not going to the playoffs in all likelihood. And you know that week 2 in the season, which is a legitimate reason to be depressed, RC. So I'm asking the question. I'm asking, all right. Which one should you feel more positive about? How about that question?
It depends on what week you ask me.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, you asked me week 1, I would have said the Jets.
Right.
But then we realized, wait, maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers defense ain't what we thought it was going to be coming into this season. Justin Fields plays extremely well. Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall. And then last week against the Buffalo Bills, it's a complete debacle.
Yeah.
How do you get consistency in an organization that hasn't had consistency? That's on Aaron Glenn. Now you go to the other side of it. Russell Wilson played like we'd actually never seen him play before. And that's not hyperbole. In all the games he's played, he's never thrown for 450 the way he did against the Dallas Cowboys. But then in the end, he throws the ball up, and Donovan Wilson intercepts it, and that changes the game. And so I think that you are looking at what mediocre to bad teams do. They don't show consistency. They lose in the most important moments. They allow other teams to find ways to win. And so for me, I don't think you feel good about either of these teams right now until they show you that they can be depended on.
Perfect. So New York Jets, if I'm Aaron Glenn, I'm really holding Justin Fields accountable. Like almost uncomfortable to a degree because Justin Fields still has to earn the right to have cushion, right? Dave Gettleman, when he came to the Carolina Panthers to take over for general manager role, it was so awkward. Hey, he came from the Pittsburgh Steelers and just from the New York Giants as well. And he had this rapport of what quarterbacks were. I've been around Ben Roethlisberger. I've been around Eli Manning. I know what franchise quarterbacks, what entails. And at that time, I was in year 4 or 5, and I had already grown to conform to what type of style of player that I was. And in our ending meeting at that year, as he was about to take over, he kept mentioning Tom Brady. He kept mentioning Peyton Manning. He kept mentioning the repetition of saying there's 2 type of players in the NFL. There's football players, and then there are professional football players. Which one are you? And I think with Aaron Glenn, you have that same thing to say to Justin Fields, hey, bro, are you a professional? Not to say that your preparation isn't right. It's more or less to say, like, are you a big-time player? Because fumbling on a first drive, like we know you have to run the football to get in the game. That's cool. But, bro, we need you to be at least above average to give our chances of winning any capabilities. And then on the flip side, when you're talking about the G-men, Russell Wilson going to give you one of them, bro. I ain't going to cap. Every year, I did the research. Every year, he going to give you a 350-plus game. It was that game. Prove me wrong as a former player who are fans of players. And it's like, hey, bro, let Russ cook. Broncos country, let's ride. Like, I want to see you just do it again. Right. But win this time. And we all know, like, hey, bro.
KC this week, though. That's different.
Right. That's cool. Do it like that.
You got to go. You got to go as well. I want to ask y'all this last question. Just listening to y'all break down, not just football, but football players. You with your 4th and 1 podcast, very successful. Proud of you, bro. Keep doing your thing. You with the pivot speaks for itself. Very, very proud of both of y'all. The path that y'all have paved for yourself in this business, being able to talk about these issues, being able to talk about players, not just the game, but really dissecting and analyzing who they are, what their perspective is, where they may be coming from while they're out there on their field, while they're in that locker room, while they're doing contract negotiations, or anything like that. Speak, whether it's 4th and 1, whether it's the pivot. How rewarding is it? How challenging is it for y'all to touch on that? That's my last question.
The rewarding part is allowing people to tell their own stories, right? To be able to sit with, whether it's Michael Beasley, to be able to sit with C.J. Stroud and have those players tell you why they are who they are, not necessarily why they played the game or loved the game the way that they did. Like, that's where the reward is, and to speak on their behalf as well. The challenge is whenever you have a platform where you want to allow people to see the person, you have to represent that person and those people in the right manner. They have to feel comfortable that you have their best interest in mind when you're speaking about them and speaking for them. And you said something today that I respect so much about you, and it actually, you told me the first time we ever had a conversation on the phone. You said, whatever I say, I'm willing to have a conversation man to man, face to face about. That's the challenge. Making sure that whatever you say, you're comfortable having a conversation man to man, face to face about, and either one, being able to stand on it when you're right, or two, admit when you're wrong. And I think that's been the beauty of having that platform, is the actual connection to the people that do what we love to watch.
Cam?
Yeah, I think when you spend so much time working the craft of a sport, you become, in other fields, what they call experts. So why not give athletes opportunities to talk about this when they have the right to speak on it more than anybody? But there's something that I want to say and need to say, because there's not always the glitz and the glamour, and like everything comes with a price.
Okay.
And the price of understanding that what he said that I took from hearing it, the weight of your voice. The weight of your voice. You don't understand. I'm Cam Newton, just a kid from College Park, Atlanta, Georgia. You can see it in my hair. You can see it in my swag. You can see it in everything. But, hey, I'm also a first pick of a draft. Hey, I was a franchise quarterback. Hey, I was a Heisman Trophy winner. Hey, I'm this, I'm that. There's so many other different dynamics, and that's why I respect the pivot, because it's like, hey, I'm a father of 9 kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a father to so many people, but also give back to my community in a philanthropic way, where I have had the Justin Fields on my 7-on-7 team. I have had Travis Hunter on my 7-on-7 team, Bo Nix on my 7-on-7 team, and they gave me nothing. I tried to give them things to do as well. But to that point, I would say the bad that you have to be aware of is, to what extreme are you willing to go to potentially ruffle a relationship? I did it this past week, right? I didn't know that what I was saying was going to be taken offense by. And on this platform, I apologize to Ryan Clark in a way where it's like, it ain't no, hey, bro, I'm just sorry. Right. I think it's perspective. And once you have perspective, it changes your whole different outlook. So when I talk about Shedeur Sanders, when I talk about any type of sticky situation that, you know, I may lean in and just speak on it how I need to speak on it. The good is you give a lot of people perspective. The bad is when you finally see certain people, it's not that they're going to step up to you. It's just that, hey, bro, you could have just texted me. Yeah. I would have told you. And that's what we don't do a lot. But this is the thing, in closing, you have to evolve. Because like I told RC, what I'm used to, I create content not through the lens of, you know, a former football player. I look at the Mr. Beast. I look at the DDGs. I look at the Castanets. I look at the Call Her Daddies. I look at the Pivot. I look at Nightcap. I look at It Is What It Is. I look at the Stephen A. Smith Show. I look at so many different individuals, and I critique it in a way where it's like, okay, this is who I have to be. I've done everything that God has allowed me to do at a high level. Content is no different. There's recipes that you have to have, but there's also unspoken rules that you have to abide by.
I have a question for you. Yeah. I tell people all the time, I think you're the best doing it. How do you weigh the balance of entertainment and authenticity?
Well, for me, I've been very blessed and fortunate from the standpoint that because I wasn't nearly as talented as cats like both of y'all, but I could always talk. I always tried to edify myself and be as knowledgeable as I possibly can be. Sometimes entertainment is somebody looking at you speak your truth the way that you speak it. Are you real? Are you authentic? If you'll see me, y'all both know me well, and you see that I talk the same way on the air that I do off the air.
For sure.
Sometimes the volume is higher, sometimes the volume is lower, but the body language, the gyrations, the mannerism, etc. That's just how I talk. And noticing that the audience finds that entertaining is one thing, but the other element to that is you got to know what you have an idea what you're talking about. You got to be honest about what you don't know.
Yeah.
And in the same process, know what the audience is looking for. This is a sports show. I got 2 sports cats on here. I'm not going to be talking politics on here. That's my POTUS show for that. I'm not going to be talking politics. And it's sports, okay? You have to know what your audience is looking for, what they want, what their expectations are of you, and what is it that they like about you. Sometimes it's a challenge for people to capture that. But a lot more often than not, it's a challenge because people weren't even thinking about their audience. They were thinking about what they wanted to say and what they wanted to express. And in the process of y'all being authentic and true to yourself, you got to always remember that you still got to have an idea of what the audience wants to hear from you. It's like a headline that pops up in the pivot or 4th and 1 tackles it. What are you doing? You looking at what's trending. You look at what people talking about. Okay, so that's what they want to. That's what they want to hear about. Then you know that you have an idea of giving them what they want. And then, most importantly, being yourself is so important because it's the one thing you can guarantee you will always do, which means that the audience can trust it. If you deviate from being authentic, then you're not going to be able to sustain that lie over a long period of time. It's not going to work.
Right.
And I've always known that. And last but not least, in my position, I've been very, very helpful and blessed. Because I tell people all the time, no, I watch NFL as a spectator. I watch NFL as a reporter. I don't know NFL unless it's for y'all. Cam and RC and Swagoo and everybody else in between taught me football. So when I walk on a set or I walk into an arena, I'm proud and my chest is sticking out and I know what the hell I'm talking about. Because not only did I do my homework, I talked to the people that know. And I'm not lying about it. Nah, RC told me this, Cam told me that or whatever. And unfortunately, on too many occasions, cats that didn't play, they want to act like they knew it all on their own when it's impossible.
Yeah.
I will never disrespect an athlete by acting like I know what people who actually did it know.
Yeah.
I don't know more. I know what I know. I can come at you from a scribe, from a pundit, from a commentator's perspective, but I never disrespect. I always make sure you know. I don't know what you know.
Yeah, but real quick too, because
I just don't want you to miss your flight. But go ahead.
No,
go ahead. All right.
good. I got good status. I'll make the
Hey,
I'll make the
they
next
don't
one.
have commercials on.
Yeah, we get ready to go to
on
commercial.
set?
Don't worry about it. We good. We good.
You
we
know what I'm
good.
saying? But I think too, when you're talking to an athlete, there's certain bylaws that should be in place, no different than when you're talking to a journalist.
Okay.
And the common denominator is this: we all want to be respected.
Yes.
And from the consumer standpoint, we just want to be entertained. So if those recipes are in place, everybody wins. When you get into a situation where it's like, yo, bro, this is this, this is that, I look at what I would prefer, because we've all been in that type of dynamic.
Yep.
And I think I look at things different because of this interaction. When I was a football player, I looked at Stephen A. completely different than how I look at you now.
Right.
And there a couple weeks ago, like we were on air, and I gave you a subtle flex because this is true. Right. You've done so much for so many people, right? And
I agree.
It's like, dog, it's not for you to tell that because it's gonna come off as disingenuous, but you say it in a way where it's like, no, for sure. And granted, like RC, I told him today, it's like, bro, the way you're able to verbalize, like, and compartmentalize that, like, you look at athletes and we're like, yo, that dude's talented. He's a freak. But when you verbalize that, he's like, yo, he's skillful. Another guy, bro, like, and I don't want to be, that guy, but Shannon Sharp has been an individual very instrumental in just everything. He's like, no, Cam, you got to do this. No, Cam, you got to do that. Similar to you as well, too. And it's like, hey, man, get to your points faster. We on live television. It's like, all right, bet. Hey, stay away from that. Don't do that. And I hear it in the back of my mind, and it's like, yo, bro, it's like when you're doing certain things, you try to mimic so much that it's like that's the standard. And one thing from an athlete to a journalist or a journalist to an athlete, we can all appreciate and coexist together.
Yes, we can.
But as long as we got respect, that's the key ingredient.
Love y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, my brother.
Proud of
Love
the
you,
job
bro.
y'all doing with ESPN. Proud of y'all being here on my show in studio. Appreciate it. Sue slamming.
Yes, sir.
And I keep promising you I'm going to wear one of your outfits one day.
No,
I'm going to wear one of your
you
outfits.
can't handle it.
You
can't handle it.
I can't handle it.
You ain't got the answer, Stephen A.
Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio, 888 Mad Dog 6 is the number to call up. That's 888-623-3646. Back with more of the Stephen A. Smith Show right here on Mad Dog Sports Radio, Sirius XM in a minute.